Today's mini lesson is on the indefinite and negative expressions. If you look at these two examples written below, we have Yo conozco a alguien que siempre tiene algunos libros. I know somebody who always has a couple of books. While the negative version of this would be Yo no conozco a nadie que nunca tenga ningún libro. Hopefully you're noticing that, unlike English, once we have a negative expression like the no qualifier here, everything that follows will be in the negative as well. English would simply state the negative qualifier, and then the rest of these statements would be left in the affirmative. So, the indefinite negative words. Indefinite can also be called affirmative. As you look at the left column, you're going to see words like algo, alguien, alguno, alguna, también, o, and siempre. The negative reflections then would be nada, nadie, ninguno, ninguna, tampoco, ni, nunca, jamás. So for everything on the left, we have its equal on the right. So we have algo, something, nada, nothing. Alguien, someone, nadie, no one or nobody. Alguno, alguna, in all its variations, some, ninguno, ninguna, not one. También, also, tampoco, neither. O, either or, ni, neither nor. Siempre, always, nunca, and jamás both mean never. So how are English and Spanish different in terms of the negatives? Well, for one, English is very strict in the rule that once a sentence has a negative qualifier, like we see in the pink, no or not, everything that follows is in the affirmative. While in Spanish, number 2 rule says it's the opposite. Once we have a sentence driven towards a negative, everything that follows is also in the negative. So look at number 3. I don't, that's our negative qualifier, never read nothing. That should hopefully sound odd to you, because once we have a negative, like we see in pink, I don't, then those should be green, like we see in sample 2. I don't ever read anything. However, Spanish prefers and actually requires that you do it like we see in the first sample. Yo no leo nunca nada. So, English says, once you have this pink and it's negative, everything else that follows should have been green, like we see in sample 2. Spanish, on the other hand, says, once we have the pink, everything needs to be red. Your turn for practice. Go ahead and pause the video, see if you can state these words very quickly. Great job. Hopefully you came up with these answers. Remember, once you have a negative qualifier in Spanish, everything that follows it will be in the negative. That's different from the English, where once it's negative, all the rest will follow in the affirmative.